So hello friends, students and viewers, how are you all? I hope all of you are fine and safe during this newly strain, or you can say the new strain of coronavirus. This is a very dangerous strain, so just take educate care of yourself, your parents, your family members, your friends, your near and dear ones. Stay safe, stay alert and always follow the COVID-19 protocols that the government has instructed for us. So, apart from this, I welcome you all to your YouTube channel, Revision Learning. So students, today we will discuss a new topic from the history. Our today's topic's name is the French Revolution. Now, this topic is the first chapter for the class 9 students from history. Today in this video, we will discuss in a summarized way how this French Revolution occurred, or what were the primary reasons for behind this French Revolution. Okay, so let's get started. French Revolution started on 14 July 1789 in the city of Paris, that is France. Now this it was started because of a rumor that the king would soon order the army to open fire upon the citizens, and based on this 7,000 men and women gathered in front of the town hall, and they destroyed the prison, they demolished the fortress, or you can say the Bastille fortress, and based on this riots started in Paris and other countryside. Now you all would be thinking like, why all these things happened? So let's know everything why all these things happened. So in 1774, that is 15 years before the revolution started, in 1774, Louis XVI of the Bourbon family, that is Louis XVI was the king of that time, and he was born in the Bourbon family. Bourbon family means royal family. So Louis XVI of the Bourbon family was ascended the throne of France, and upon his accession he found an empty treasury due to so many problems. Now the state was forced to increase taxes to meet its regular expenses, such as the cost of maintaining an army, the court, running government offices, universities, etc. In the 18th century, the French society was divided into three estates. The first and second estate people were known as the clergy and nobility respectively. The clergy and nobility, which formed the first two estates, were the privileged classes. They were exempted from payment of state taxes. The third estate formed the majority of the population, that is 90% of the population, and was the unprivileged classes. It bore the burden of taxes with no political and social rights. Now, the population of France increased drastically during the period of 1715 to 1789. This led to a rapid increase in the demand for food grains, but the production of food grains did not increase. Peasants and workers were highly dissatisfied. They revolted every now and then against these increasing taxes and food scarcity. They wanted to bring about a change in the country's social and economic order. During the 18th century, social groups, also known as the middle class, suddenly got emerged, or you can say suddenly the middle class people emerged. They were educated and believed that no group in the society should be privileged by birth. They said that there should not be any society, or there should not be any class in the society that should get any privilege by birth. Some philosophers like John Locke, Montesquieu and Jean-Jacques Rousseau enlightened the middle class people with their revolutionary ideas. They set them on the path of revolution. Now, the Louis XVI planned to increase taxes further. He called together an assembly of the Estates General on May 5, 1789 for this purpose. Here, 300 members from both the first and second estate people came, or you can say 300 representatives were there from the first and second estate, and 600 from the third estate. Now the members of the third estate participated in the assembly, but they walked out of it when their demand of equal voting rights was rejected by the king. So on June 20, they assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court in the grounds of Versailles. They declared themselves a national assembly and swore not to disperse till they had drafted a constitution for France that would limit the powers of the king. The rest of France was seething with turmoil. Turmoil means chaos in the country. Now, on July 14, they stormed and destroyed the Bastille fortress that I said while starting the video. Their agitation proved to be fruitful. Louis XVI finally accorded recognition to the National Assembly and accepted the principle that his powers would from now on be checked by the Constitution. On August 14, 1789, the Assembly passed a feudal system obligations on taxes. The members of the clergy were too forced to give up their privileges. The National Assembly completed the drafting of the Constitution in 1791. Its main objective was to limit the powers of the monarch. The Constitution of 1791 vested the power to make laws in the National Assembly, which was indirectly elected. The Constitution began with a declaration of the rights of man and citizen. Rights such as the right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before law were established as natural and inalienable rights. Louis XVI no doubt had signed the Constitution, but he entered into secret negotiations with the King of Prussia. Now, Prussia means Germany. The National Assembly acted swiftly. It declared a war against Prussia and Austria. Thousands of volunteers thronged from the provinces to join the army. The Revolutionary Wars brought losses and economic difficulties to the people of France. In spite of that, large section of the population wanted to carry the revolution further. Political clubs came into limelight after then. The most successful from those political clubs was that of the Jacobins, also known as the Jacobins Club. The members of the Jacobin Club belonged mainly to the less prosperous sections of the society. Maximilien Robespierre was the leader of the Jacobin Club. On August 10, 1792, the Jacobins stormed the palace of the Tuileries, massacred the king's guards, and held the king himself as a hostage for several hours. Later, the assembly voted to imprisonment to the royal family, and after that, elections were held. The newly elected assembly was called the Convention, and by the time the National Assembly demolished. On September 21, 1792, it abolished the monarchy and declared France a republic. Here it means convention. So convention on 1792 abolished the monarchy which was there from the beginning in France, and after that the France was declared a republic. Louis XVI was sentenced to death by a court on the charge of treason. On January 21, 1793, Louis XVI was executed publicly. His wife, Marie Antoinette, met the same fate shortly after. Robespierre remained the center image from 1793 to 1794. This period is referred to as the Reign of Terror. During this period, he followed a policy of severe control and punishment. Soon, he became unpopular. Even his supporters began to demand moderation. Finally, he was arrested and executed in July 1794. After the fall of the Jacobin government, the middle classes seized the power. A new constitution then was introduced which denied the vote to non-propertied sections of the society. It provided for 2 elected legislative councils. These legislative councils appointed a directory and executive made up of 5 members. However, the directors often clashed with the legislative councils. So, as a result, political instability took place, which paved the way for the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte, who was a military dictator. In 1804, he crowned himself the Emperor of France. In the beginning, people saw him as a liberator who would bring freedom for them. But soon the Napoleonic armies came to be viewed everywhere as an invading force. He was finally defeated at the War of Waterloo in 1815. Many of his measures that carried the revolutionary ideas of liberty and modern laws to other parts of Europe had an impact on people long after Napoleon had left. The ideas of liberty and democratic rights were the most important legacy of the French Revolution. This spread from France to the rest of the Europe during the 19th century. So students, this is all about your French Revolution. The entire story I told you in a summarized way. If you go through the books easily, you can get to know more about the story. Okay, so students, in this book or in your book, you will see some important words that have some important meanings. We will go through a few words, like for example, number 1 is old regime. This means this term usually is used to describe the society and institutions of France before 1789. Livre. It means that it is the unit of currency in France that discontinued in 1794. Clergy. As I said, clergy, a group of persons invested with special functions in the church, and they were the first state people. Tithe. A tax levied by the church comprising 1/10 of the agricultural production. Taille. Tax to be paid directly to the state. Subsistence crisis. An extreme situation where the basic means of livelihood are endangered. Manor. An estate consisting of the lord's lands and his mansion. Marseillaise, a patriotic song sung for the first time by the volunteers. Jacobin Club, a political club during the French Revolution. So I have touched a few words that I got from your story, or from, you can say, from the entire French Revolution chapter. If you go through the book more nicely, then you can get those chapters. So with this, today I am winding up my video. I hope that you have understood this French Revolution more or less. So if you have liked my explanation, then please like this video, share it to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe Revision Learning and press the bell icon so that you never miss any of our videos and updates. Till then, stay safe, stay alert, take care, and we'll meet in our next video soon. Thank you.